And we are live for our second Diesel Nation call for May. We are loading this month with powerhouse coaches to inspire us to take, not only get inspired for our business, but to take action in our business, right? I've said it once, I've said it again. There are time periods in this business. By the way, I'm Christina, for those of you that don't know who I am and are brand new to this call. Sorry, I should have introduced myself earlier. But me, along with my sister Becky, are the co-founders of the team that you are part of. And we're going to be hearing from Shannon, Leach, which I will give an amazing, tremendous introduction to in a second. But before we get there, I wanted to share something. A lot of coaches come in to the business, in January and find success like real fast, right? Because January, February, and March are the quote unquote easier months in our business. But just like any business, it doesn't matter if you are Apple, if you are Macy's, if you are whatever business. There are ebbs and flows. There are ups and downs. There will always be that. This business is not one that you just snap your fingers and it just happens for you. You've got to work for it. And it just so happens that the months of April and May tend to be a little bit more difficult than January, February, and March. But just because it's a little bit more difficult doesn't mean we throw up our hands and say, you know what, I'll just pick up my business, in June or July or August even. No, it's time to double up, right? Instead of taking a step back, we got to double up in the amount of people we're reaching, right? Like Carl Deichler said, we have to attract, we have to connect, we have to plug them in every sense of the word. So many people think that you have to sell a challenge pack right away, right? You have to get those SC points right away. Not necessarily. These are the months where these free groups become extremely important, right? Because we need to gather a lot of people, show the value in what we do as coaches, so that 2 months from now, they could join with a challenge pack or even join as a coach. Okay, so I'm following, just last week we had Danielle Paul on our call talk about a free group. Guess what I did? I'm doing a free crockpot group, right? I've seen the success that some of you are having with the crockpot groups. I'm doing it too. I'm jumping on that bandwagon. And Becky and I, we're going to host them. We're going to create a script for it. It's going to be exciting. We're going to put a little Hispanic flair to it. And we're going to start a crockpot group because we need, at this time of our business, we know that it's in one of the decline months. So we need to gather a lot of people, get them revved up with clean eating so that when we're on the incline with what I call the harvest months, which are coming up in June and July and August with Summit, that we have a great and steady and healthy pipeline of people that are going to be ready to commit to their health and fitness journeys in the middle of the summer. Can I get an amen? Are you with me on that? But at the same token, we're not stopping. We're not saying, you know what, because it's a hard month, I'm not going to hit Success Club. No, we have to hit Success Club. It's part of our business. Success Club is our business, right? Like I said on the National Wake Up Call the other day, Success Club gives you a business, right? It means you're bringing people into your sphere of influence. They are connecting to Shakeology and a fitness program. You're helping them in a challenge group, and you're doing that every single month. It gives you a healthy business. Now, when you add recruiting into the mix, right? When you add coaches into the mix, that gives you a growing business, right? So you're leaving the sphere of commission-based business, and you're entering that of team cycle bonuses, rank advancements, and all that cool stuff, right? Then if you can get your team to duplicate that, to hit Success Club, recruit coaches, then you have a thriving and kick butt business, which no better person, absolutely no better person at this very moment to talk about not only her story, but how she's developed this amazing business in a very short amount of time. And you'll see that the theme of this month is bringing coaches into our team calls that have had success in a short amount of time because they took the bulls by the horn, they kicked fear in the face, and they got down to business. They didn't say, oh, I have to get my transformation first, or, oh, I'm scared to post on social media. No, they just said, I want this. I want it bad. I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to be a hoarder of information. I'm going to go for it, right? And I'm going to get it done. No better person to talk about that tonight to our team than Shannon Leach, who is a member of Team Fit Fanatics, which was founded by Danielle McKean. Shannon came onto the scene in February of 2015. So it's just over a year from the time she signed up as a coach. She came on board. She, since that time, has advanced to 4-star diamond. She is a Success Club 10 legend. She is rocking the leaderboards right now and is ranked number 69 in the entire company, you guys. There's 400 and like God knows how many coaches in the network. She is ranked 69. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 69. Like that is how cool she is. She is, Shannon, correct me, team leader?
Yeah.
Or organizational leader?
Team leader.
You're a team leader on the leader ladder, which is awesome. That means she's rocking a healthy, successful business. She is married to Dan, and they're celebrating their anniversary next week. She has her baby Brooklyn and a baby in her belly. So not only is she rocking this business, she's done it with literally an infant, right? Were you pregnant around the time you signed up as a coach?
She was 6 weeks old.
Okay, wow. Hello. She was 6 weeks old when she became a coach. Now she's going through a pregnancy, and she can share her story a little bit more about that. But she's now pregnant with her second baby. She's also an ARNP. So talk about busy, 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 busy. At the same token, she's finding time to bless people with this business. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Miss Shannon Leach. I'm going to mute myself. And I have my, wait, before I start, before you start, my little notepad is now containing the notes from every single team call and National Wake Up Call that I participate on. This is something that has helped me build my business. And so hopefully you guys do something similar. And I have right here, team call with Shannon Leach. I have her stats, and I'm ready to take notes. So hopefully you have something similar that you can refer back to. Without further ado, Shannon Leach, take it over.
Thank you so much, Christina. And I honestly feel just so honored and blessed to be on this call. And bear with me, our house is total chaos right now. We're moving literally next week. So we don't have a dining room table or a desk or anything. I've found the only chair in our entire house. So like Christina said, I started coaching last year in 2015. And I just want to start with my story and my why before I talk about leadership with you guys tonight. So I was pregnant. I was nearing the end of my pregnancy, and I've always been an athlete or consider myself an athlete. So I grew up playing sports all the way through high school. I actually played college soccer at the University of Washington. I did a few marathons. I was actually at the 2013 Boston Marathon when the bombs went off. Luckily, I'd finished and was safe, but I've done triathlons. And so I got to this point in my pregnancy where I thought, oh my gosh, like, your life changes when you have kids. Everybody says that. I'm not going to have enough time to be, training for a marathon or even do our workouts. So I had seen some posting at the time about the 21-day fix. And ironically, she's no longer my coach, which I'm so happy because now Danielle McKean is my coach, and it just turned out to be the biggest blessing of all. But I'd seen this girl post about the 21-day fix, and I'd reached out to her to try and get some home workout DVDs. And I honestly thought home workouts were not anything that would produce results for me. I didn't think they'd be challenging, but I wanted an option for when I thought I wouldn't make it to the gym. So reached out to her and ordered some DVDs at first, actually, Insanity Max 30. But then had questions about Shakeology. And so she sent me a few samples because, again, I just knew time was going to be of the essence as a new mom, and wanted something quick and easy. So I like the shakes. I said to my husband, do you think it's okay that I order this? And he's like, well, gosh, they're sure expensive. Isn't that what we all say first? But he said yes. And so what I did is I signed up with a challenge pack as a discount coach because I always love saving money and having a good deal. And she introduced me to the discount opportunity. And at the time, I just thought there's no way I would ever coach. I told her, like, I don't want to coach. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to save money. Are you sure there's no like hidden things and all this that I'm signing up for? And she's like, no, you can cancel at any time. And I truly thought that I might end up doing it for a few months and stopping. That clearly didn't happen. So I did my first 21-day fix. And like I said, I was about 6 weeks postpartum when I first started the Shakeology. I had a few complications, so I didn't actually start working out until I was about more like 8 to 10 weeks pregnant, but did the 21-day fix and just fell in love with the accountability of it. I very quickly got back to my pre-pregnancy state, loved Shakeology, and just felt amazing. Like, I just kept saying to my husband, I really think it has to be the Shakeology that has given me this much energy, because there's no way with like sleeping, in 2-hour chunks over weeks and weeks that I could have this much energy. So I quickly was a believer in the program. I was absolutely challenged more than I ever thought from home workouts. And it saved me from going to the gym and spending, 2+ hours at the gym, where I would race into a class. First I'd breastfeed my daughter, race into a class, grab her, breastfeed again, and then drive home. And it was this like 2.5-hour cycle. And so to be able to just wake up, roll out of bed, work out for 30 minutes was a huge saving grace. But the accountability of the group and just the other people in the atmosphere, I just loved it. And I felt like I really have to pass this on. So the next month I said, I'm going to invite people to join me. Over the next few months, then my coach ended up quitting. And so Danielle McKean had actually taken me under her wing really, really early, which I will forever be grateful for, because I don't know that I actually would have run with the business had I not had her leadership. And so she, showed me the ropes, and then officially became my coach a few months later, which we were both very happy about. And it wasn't really until I would say a few months into last summer that I really saw the opportunity to grow a team, to grow this business, and to really push myself to be a leader to my team rather than just a leader to challengers. In the meantime, I thought about my why, because we talked about that a lot. And I don't know if you've seen my story on social media, probably not, but I am infertile. I have a diagnosis of infertility. I have a crazy long name diagnosis that basically just means I don't produce the hormones that most women do. So I don't ovulate at all. So when we decided to start having children, it was very apparent quickly that I was going to need infertility treatment in order to even possibly get pregnant. So we did a couple rounds of artificial insemination for my daughter. This was before Beachbody. Without success, and they basically said that our only chance was with in vitro fertilization. It really was probably the darkest, hardest part of my entire life so far. You feel completely isolated. You feel alone. You have this vision of your future and your family, and you don't know if you'll ever have a child. Actually, last night, my daughter was in the tub, and I just started crying, and I said, can you believe there was a time we thought we might never have kids? Because you have no idea, and you have no idea if it's going to work. It's financially absolutely draining. Insurance companies don't pay for it. It's emotionally a roller coaster. And physically, it's really hard. You're injecting yourself with medications for up to 15 days at a time, and you're going in every other day for appointments. So that's what I went through for my daughter. We didn't get pregnant the first time we tried. We put in 2 embryos and it failed. And it was just crushing. It was horrible. We then had 1 frozen embryo left, and that is our daughter, Brooklyn. So needless to say, she's an absolute huge blessing. And so when I started Beachbody coaching, I thought, okay, even if I made $100 a month, I will put this aside for our next fertility treatments. Because again, I knew that was in my future. I knew we wanted to grow our family. Ultimately we would love to have 3 or 4 children. So I started putting everything aside. And like I said, I really started, growing my business and trying to learn as much as possible about the business starting last summer, working with my coaches, working really closely with Danielle, doing everything I could to grow my business. So it was in October last year that we decided to go back through in vitro fertilization. We had no embryos left, so we had to start from scratch. And I looked back at my Beachbody account and realized that we had made enough to cover the entire treatment. And I start crying almost every time I say that, because it was unbelievable. Like, it was almost like to a T, like the exact amount that the bills were for, the whole treatment and the medications and all the exams and everything. And I knew what an amazing opportunity this is. I know how powerful it can be for so many different people's lives, but really it was just like, holy shit, like, this thing is incredible. And, your life can change, and you might not have medical bills, but I know that you have something that this is changing your life. And so my whole purpose now, I just feel like I need to share this with the world, and everyone that's not on board, I'm like, how can you not want to do this? Because it really has changed my life so much. And I said this in a call, and Christina loved this, so I'll share this again with you guys. But we really feel like now, so we're having our second child, and we feel like instead of being two parents with one child, we are going to be a family. And I feel like Beachbody helps you to do that, because it gives you more time with your family, or more financial freedom, or whatever it is. So I think that looking back, a big shift in my business was because I took on more of a leadership role. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight. And I wanted to start with a quote I found that I just loved. It said, "Be the kind of person that others admire, can count on, trust, and enjoy spending time with. After you've developed that reputation, people will start to ask you what you do and will want to work with you on the things that matter. When you focus on leading a passionate, meaningful, and faithful life, you are also inadvertently creating a spectacular ripple effect of inspiration in the lives around you. When one person is making a difference and being a positive role model, everybody nearby feels their passionate energy. Before too long, they too are leading by example and simultaneously inspiring others." And I just thought, man, this is so us and our team and my team. And so I just wanted to start with that. So leadership, you absolutely have to pave the way for your team. You have to trust, that you are leading them and that they are going to follow you. We have this absolutely incredible upline, and Christina and Becky and Danielle and whoever else is above you, but they have shown us what is possible in this business. They've given us all the tools that we need to be successful, and they've created these amazing systems to help us be successful. So first of all, don't reinvent the wheel, but make it your own. So I've always used the resources, from Danielle, from Christina, from Becky, but changed it to be me, because that's what this is all about. People are drawn to you for a particular reason and want to be on your team. And so it's just so important to stay true to yourself, but use all the resources that we already have. So leadership really begins with the 3 vital behaviors. Now 4, I realize, but I can't not touch on that, because you have to be the example for your coaches in order for them to want to follow you. So inviting, obviously, Success Club, as we all know, is a non-negotiable, but you have to set the highest standards for yourself and for your team, and reach for the highest goals, and don't set minimums, which I learned very quickly from Christina. So I always set a goal of Success Club 5 by the 5th, 10 by the 10th, and if I haven't got there yet, I'm just busting my butt to do that. You have to be personally inviting and starting conversations. You have to be forming people and realizing that that takes time. And like Christina said, it's just planting seeds for the future. So you have to do this every single day, month after month. And I know that a lot of people make the mistake, and it's like the first 3 months people are fired up. They get in, they do the public announcements of come join my challenge group. People just come to them. And so it's really easy to forget about personally inviting and doing the personal messages. But then month 4, 5, 6 comes and nobody is responding to your general post. So as much as possible, be teaching your coaches that from day 1, they need to start doing personal invitations. And then just knowing that it does take time with people. And Don't expect that they're going to buy from you right away. Don't even have that necessarily be your end goal. Just start building relationships. You need to be providing value to people who say no. So you don't just disregard them because they say no to a challenge pack. Maybe you can run free groups. So I'm also doing clean eating group this month. I did a core challenge last month. I was just looking up what I want to do for next month, probably booty and core. So share recipes with them and just be there for them in their personal lives. Be checking in with them month to month and, hey, how's your daughter doing? Offer the club membership to them. And I was listening to, it was Amy Silverman call the other day, and she was saying, if someone's not willing to invest $2.99 a week in their health, they're never going to invest in their health. So, don't, if they're not willing to invest in that, don't feel bad that they're saying no to a challenge pack. But I thought that was a great reminder that when you're inviting to people, maybe they say no to your challenge group, maybe they say no to a challenge pack, but there's so much more you can offer them. Number 2, of course, be proof of the product. So are you committed to a program? Are you drinking Shakeology daily? Are you sharing this and being present on social media? And I've seen, in some of my coaches even, and myself, that if you're falling off the bandwagon yourself, your business will suffer. So it's so important for you to make yourself the first priority, your health and your fitness. Personal development, I cannot speak enough to. I think that when I really bought into how important this was, it absolutely transformed my thinking and my ability to be a better leader. Like a lot of people, I think at first it's an easy thing to push aside, but I dig even deeper into personal development when I'm struggling. It's what I turn to, and it absolutely has changed my business. It should be right up there with, your own personal health journey as a number 1 priority. And then our last vital behavior that now is the newest one is recognize. And that's challengers in your group, that's coaches on your team. But I also was thinking about it, and I also like to look at it as recognize your strengths, recognize your weaknesses, your areas for improvement and growth, and really look at what you need to do to become a better leader and just a better person in general. So one of the first things I want to talk about leadership is belief, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to realize and recognize that you're making a tremendous difference in people's lives. And again, this comes back to personal development. So you also have to be believing in your team and know that they are working hard. You have to instill belief in your challengers and their coaches so that they believe it themselves. And this really is just huge, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. People will tell when you're, self-conscious or when you're not confident about what you're sharing. And I feel like personal development and just becoming confident in your abilities to help other people, it'll show through your conversation and your passion, and people will believe you and believe that you're going to make a difference in their lives too. The next thing I think that is huge is consistency. And that just means that you're showing up every single day. I really, there's days where life is crazy. Like I said, we are packing our house. I'm 29 weeks pregnant. I have a 17-month-old. I work 32 hours a week. But that doesn't mean that I miss a day of the Beachbody business, because people need to see that you're consistent. They need to see that you're going to be there for the long haul. You need to be responding to people's comments. It might not seem like that matters, but it really does, because the whole point is that you're interested in someone's life. You're not interested in selling them a challenge pack and having that be the only thing. You're actually wanting to build relationships with them, because you're not going to help someone get results if you don't have a relationship with them. Commenting on other people's posts is part of consistency. Just being present on social media. And again, just being interested in their life. So caring about their life and what's going on with their life. Number 3, persistency. So go for no and don't take it personally, and ask just more and more and more until you get the right person. I like to look at it as now is not their time, they're not the right person for this challenge group. And it always ends up being the perfect mix of people, and you find the absolute right people at the right time. Follow-up is tremendous and has been huge for me in my business. I feel like I've done a good job of staying organized, of tracking who I've been talking to. I have lists. In the beginning, I had whiteboard when it was a short list. And, I just went back to that actually this last week and invited every single person that had said no to me to my free group. And, a lot of them are in it. A lot of them are doing a Shakeology sampler. But you have to follow up with people, and you have to be tracking these people, and you can't rely on just looking back at your Facebook messages, because hopefully you have so many Facebook messages and conversations going that you can't keep track of the ones just via Messenger. I have a great example of follow-up being key. I just had a challenger sign up with a challenge pack for my group that started today. So she purchased last week, and I thought, man, how long have I been talking to her? So I looked back at my email that I had first sent her, or my very first message, and it was November 16th. So 6 months ago was the first time we had a conversation. And at that time she had said she was ready, but then had questions, and I'd write back, and then it was like, it's not the right time, and, check back with me next month. So I would, there'd be a month or two where I'd check in and I'd say, hey, it's on sale this month. I wouldn't even hear back from her. So this month I wrote her, and then she responded back like, I think I'm actually ready. I'm moving. I do have a few more questions. We had a conversation, and she's in my group. So that's where you just have to realize, like, relationships take a long time to build. But if you're not consistent on social media, people are going to forget that you're a coach, or they'll see someone else post and be like, oh yeah, I did want to do that. But they'll go with that person because they haven't seen you on social media. If you don't follow up with these people, there's a good chance that they won't join you. And again, we hear this all the time, but if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So again, be organized. Be persistent though. Like Christina said, just because it's a drought doesn't mean that you can say, oh, well, it's a drought. Oh, well, if I don't make Success Club. No, you need to just be asking more people, doubling the amount of people you're asking, maybe running 2 free groups, maybe running 2 challenge groups, promoting it, and just setting your standards high, and not using that as an excuse to let your business slide. Patience is the next thing. And I think that this is a difficult thing for everybody. I think that I've become stronger in this area, but just don't rush your journey. Don't force someone else to rush theirs either. And I truly think that this business is about supporting your challengers' goals, just supporting your coaches' goals, and really almost putting them before yourself. So I truly get so much more pride from what my coaches do than anything that I attain, because the only reason I get anywhere in this business is because of the coaches on my team, because of the people on my team. But I feel like I do a good job of meeting their needs. And so I don't push any of my goals on anybody else. I grab the people that want to run and I run with them. But if people want to be a discount coach, that's awesome. That's great on my team, because you know what? They're some of my absolute best challengers in my challenge groups. It's why most of my challenge groups have like 50 people in them every month, because my discount coaches join a month after month. They're posting. And so you need to treat everybody as, family on your team, as your coaches, and let them drive their goals and support their goals, whatever they are. And I just think it's a little bit selfish if you're setting goals for other people, because that is not the goal of our business. We are the CEOs of our business, but that means your coaches are the CEOs of their business. They started this to work their own hours, set their own goals, and you need to find out, what they want from this. Is it just that they want a transformation, or do they want to have just a small amount of income from this? Or do they really want to grow business, quit their job, and make this full time? But when you focus on, your personally sponsored coaches and your downline, and you help them reach your goals at the pace that they want, rather than your goals for them, you're going to achieve great success. yes, you have to have goals and you have to set a high bar for yourself and do everything you can to get there. But you truly have to focus on your team and their needs and not just what you hope for yourself. And just, I tell my coaches this all the time that are starting out, this is not a get rich quick opportunity. And you guys know this, but it's important to remind your coaches of this, but you also have to look at the amazing opportunity that you have over time. I mean, I just look at Danielle and Christina and Becky and just think, man, I mean, you have to just do all these things. You have to be patient. You have to be consistent. You have to be there all the time and put in the work every single day. And it's that compound effect, right? So all the little things over time are going to build to this huge, amazing, successful thing that you get to call your life. And that's pretty incredible. Be patient also with potential challengers. So, just know that they'll commit when the time's right for them. And honestly, I really believe that I would never force someone or talk someone into it, because if they're not ready and they don't want it for themselves, they're not going to see results. And you want people that are ready, because that's when they'll see results. That's when they're going to fall in love with the programs. That's when they're going to fall in love with Shakeology. And then they're going to be the lifers. And those are the people that you want. So the key is just, again, meeting people with their needs, their goals, and supporting them. And these people often become, of course, your best coaches and your future coaches. So it's so important to just let people come when they're ready. Another thing that has really helped me, and I'm continuing to work on myself, but is just sharing the opportunity. So when I first started coaching the first couple months, I really was not sharing the coaching opportunity. I was timid. I was scared. I would basically just be like, oh, well, you can get a discount, and not really talk too much about how incredible this business was being for my life. I was hesitant to share it, and I didn't share it with confidence. And that's completely shifted, because I see what this can do for other people's lives. And I feel like it's wrong to not share it with people, and try to give them, just a picture of what it could do for their life. Again, I just think it's a disservice not to share the opportunity with people. And I just, always say to my coaches, like, just think about how blessed your life has become because of this opportunity. And what if someone hadn't invited you here? How different would your life be? And just think about that. So sometimes it's nerve-wracking and you're afraid to say the wrong thing to people, or you're afraid they're going to say no, but at least ask them. Because if you weren't asked, if I wasn't asked, I wouldn't be here. And I really, truly can't imagine how different my life would be had I not said yes to this opportunity. So I'm trying to just share that with other people. Be an open book on Facebook. If someone looks at your page, will they know you're a health and fitness coach? Or will they have to scroll? It's just important to do sprinkles of, fitness tips and your life and recipes and the coaching opportunity every single day, so people know who you are. I actually had a girl message me last week that said, hey, I don't know if you remember me. I lived with, some of your friends. I know it's been tons of years, but I have to say it's been so much fun getting to know you on Facebook. I feel like I really know you. I love your story. I love seeing your posts every day. And it just really made me so happy, because I thought, that is my goal, right? Is that people know who I am, know what type of person I am. And those are the people that I hope end up joining me because they feel like I can trust her. She's someone that I want to be a part of, and that team. So I think it's a great idea to look at your Facebook page and scroll and pretend you're an outsider, or have someone else, another coach on your team, say, hey, what do you think? Where am I lacking? What am I doing? Do this for your coaches and have them or evaluate their posts. Recruiting, it's a must. If you want to grow your business, it's the only way to grow your team. And instead of looking at, again, as recruiting though, just think of it as giving someone this amazing opportunity to completely change your life. When you change your viewpoint on it of recruiting versus giving them this opportunity, it suddenly becomes easier for others to or to invite others to join you. And so that's how I look at it, is just, I'm sharing this incredible opportunity that's absolutely blessed my life. And it's become a lot easier to do so. Again, this is something I'm always working on. I always know that I can be sharing more. And I think that for all of us, we need to be inviting to the coaching opportunity as much as you're inviting to challenge groups or free groups. And I know that a lot of us, if we really truly look at it, probably aren't inviting to the coaching opportunity nearly enough. And I think it's important to ask yourself why. Is it fear? Are you worried about what someone will think? Or what is it that's holding you back? Because once you can overcome that, you will really see your team begin to grow, and you'll find it easier to talk to people about that also. We're all a work in progress, but the minute you're stagnant, your business will suffer. So it's really important that you're doing everything you can to share this opportunity with others. Another big thing that really helped me to become a better leader for my team was running my own training. So for a long time, and thank you, Danielle, for putting up with me, but I swear I was scared to do my own. So I was putting all of my coaches into her trainings. I wasn't running any of my trainings. And there was a huge shift in my business when I took on that leadership role, and I was running my own coach university, and I was running my own sneak peeks, and I did my first business opportunity call. And was it all scary? Yes, absolutely. But again, it made my business just thrive and grow, and it shows your coaches that you're a leader too. So how can you ask your coaches to step outside of their comfort zone if you're not willing to do the same? It shows that you're having leadership and you're able to just pass that on to your coaches. It also really helps you develop confidence. So as scary as it is to run your own groups, to do a live call, to do your own sneak peeks, it'll just change you. And you will really see a shift. And if you look back and say, oh my gosh, that's right when I started doing my own trainings, it'll parallel with your business going on a downhill or whatever I'm trying to say. You'll just see your business grow tremendously. I really think that especially all diamonds and above should be running their own trainings, and this is something that I've taught to my team as well. Duplication is key. Hopefully all of you guys listen to Christina's National Wake Up Call, but as she said, this really supercharges our business. And again, I think that this is something that has helped my team and helped my team develop into leaders themselves, is by creating systems for them to help them easily start the business quickly. So you have to have systems in place to share with your teams. Save everything you're doing and sharing, whether that's free clean eating groups or core challenge groups, or, I share with my team what my first initial message is if someone's asking about the 21-day fix. Just everything you can share helps your coaches grow and ultimately makes your team stronger. So I am, an open book when it comes to that for my team. I give them everything that I've done that's worked. I am continually working on things that I think need improvement. But do the simple things. Don't overcomplicate it. Just, if your coach, like I said, Christina and Becky and Danielle have created amazing things for us. So just take that and make it yours and run with it. My team, I've created 21-day fix guide, 22-minute hardcore, hammer and chisel, clean eating guides, now a core guide, the sneak peek into coaching, a new coach university. And so the more that you can share with your teams and help them do what you've done to be successful, it's just going to spiral down to your entire downline. And again, it'll help your team grow, and it'll help your coaches become leaders too, because then they're passing that on to your team as well. You need to just focus on your journey and stop the comparison game. It's so easy to look at other coaches on your team, your upline, your downline, and be frustrated with where you're at. But you're going to drag yourself down if you start comparing yourself. You need to let other people's success motivate you to do more and grow more as a leader. be motivated by the desire to achieve and help others rather than motivated by the desire to beat others. And I just think that, again, this is such a different business for everybody. Everybody starts in a different place. And it's just important to just focus on your journey and stay grounded in your why. And again, you'll see that you are able to achieve great things when you just focus on what you're doing, how you can improve yourself, how you can improve and be a better leader, be a better coach to your challengers, be a better coach to your coaches. The last thing I want to talk about is converting challengers to coaches. This was something that I briefly wanted to talk about, but I think that it does tie in with leadership because it enables you to bring coaches in to your business and guide them to become really great coaches as well. And I feel like this is something that I've been successful at. And when Christina had asked, what are your strengths? I thought, well, I feel like I am able to get a lot of my challengers to become coaches. And truly, that's where probably 90% of my coaches come from. I know there's a lot of other top leaders in our organization that get people, just right from an advertisement that wants to coach immediately. But I don't have a lot of those. And I'm totally okay with that because I think that the people that have done the programs, have gotten results, are often my best top coaches because they believe 100% in the products and what it does for them in their life. So for me, I believe it really boils down to is getting your challengers results, providing them with an absolute incredible challenge group experience. You need to treat each challenge group as if it's your first. So you have to bring that enthusiasm each and every time. It's easy to fall into the trap of it being your, 17th challenge group or whatever it is, but you have to be posting every single day. You have to be participating in the daily posts, whether it's the Motivational Monday or, the sweaty selfie on Wednesday, Flex Friday, and just be equally as excited with these challengers as you were with your last group of challengers. And when you are, promoting your challenge groups, you promise that you'll coach your challengers one-on-one. And so you have to do it. It's easier to let your time go elsewhere because there's a lot to do in this business, but you have to give your challengers the time. You have to remember what their goals are, why they signed up, and be there for them. And I just think it's one of the things that I've done that I think has been really helpful. One, I pay attention to who's posting consistently. And then sometimes I see people stop. So they'll be really great for a week. They'll stop. And so I'll check in with them. And often I'll find something's going on in their life and they're struggling. And so it's really important to recognize this with your coaches. And then every single Friday with my challengers, I'm individually messaging every single one. And I say, Friday check-in, how are you guys doing? Because not everybody likes to do the post on Facebook. And I think that that's been really helpful for me because it gives that personal connection. It's easy for people to get lost in the group sometimes, especially when they're the new ones. And so with your newest challengers, it's a great idea to be checking in with them at least once a week, but also more as needed and just paying attention to when people are present, and then all of a sudden fall off because most often that's when they need your help the most. And again, I talked about this a little bit before, but don't ever forget about your discount coaches. They are part of your team. They are part of your family. They help your business grow. They are, like I said, my most amazing challengers, and they make my challenge groups so much fun because they're so interactive. They support other people. And it, again, goes back to letting them drive their own goals. So they don't want to do the business. That's totally okay. And I'm going to continue to support their personal goals each and every day. Stay in contact with your previous challengers. So even if they don't continue Shakeology, I still will check in with people and say, hey, how are you doing? How's life? What can I help you with? I think often it's easy to think, oh, well, they don't do Shakeology anymore, and be done with them. And that's the absolute wrong mentality. Again, this is a relationships business. And so you can't forget about people that have once been in your challenge groups. That doesn't mean you have to check in with every single person that's been in your challenge groups, but just still be their friend and have a relationship with them. And I often have a lot of people that, yeah, maybe they don't want to be on auto shipment, but every few months they're ordering a Shakeology or they're checking back in, and how do I make sure you get credit for it? And so if you're providing people with a great experience and you're just being a good human being and helping them get results and caring about their life, they are going to trust you with everything they're doing. They'll come back to you for advice, and they'll always be there to support you in your business. I always do a point system. I know a lot of people do this too, but for the challenge group of who post the most, it's been really helpful for me to keep people super interactive. I do send them a prize for the person who has the most points at the end of the challenge. And then one of the last things I do is that with every single challenger, even if they're signing up as a coach with a challenge pack, I mark my calendar for 25 days after they've purchased. And I know that, in your initial email to them, you probably say, just a reminder, on 30 days it auto ships. But I know people will forget. And I just don't want them to feel like there's been anything that I've been hiding from them. And so I literally, my calendar is always full. It'll say like, Shannon, Shakeology, ? Club membership. And so I'll write them at the 25-day mark. I'll say, hey, and by this time I know if they love Shakeology. I pretty much know if they're going to continue on or not. But if not, I'm saying, hey, I know you've loved the program. I know you love Shakeology. I want to find out, do you plan to continue? Also, because it'll ship at 30 days. Also, the club membership has been free this first month. It'll renew automatically at the 30-day mark as well. Hopefully you've been able to check it out, but if not, it's amazing, and this is why. And then I present the coaching opportunity. So I do one of two ways. Of course, always say, if you're going to be on Shakeology, it absolutely makes sense to at least do it for the discount, because you'll save money regardless just by being a coach. It doesn't mean that you have to coach anybody or sell anything. It's purely like a club membership. But then again, I'm also sharing the business opportunity, and with specific people, you can just see the people that would be amazing coaches, and you have to tell them, like, I think you would be a great coach. I have thought about this whole challenge, that you really are so inspiring. You do exactly what I do, and you could make money doing it. So you have to be sharing the opportunity with these challengers. And again, everybody's journey changes. And so I started as a discount coach and became a business builder. And so just by bringing people into your team, having a really positive team atmosphere and creating it like a family, supporting people's goals wherever they're at, some people will convert then to business builders over time. And again, it's just by being patient and letting them drive what they need for their life. So as I mentioned, I grew up, sorry, my daughter's really loud. I grew up playing soccer and played soccer in college. And so I found this quote that I absolutely loved. That's from one of the most well-known soccer players of all time, Pele. But he said, success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, and sacrifice. Most of all, love what you're doing. So this, I say to you, is remember your why and let that drive you every single day. For me, knowing that I can potentially change a single life truly wakes me up every morning, fuels me with a burning desire to do everything I can that day to find that one person. So to recap, what I would say to grow as a leader is belief, consistency, persistency, patience, and just work your ass off. That's all I got.
Oh man, Shannon, that was so good. I was going down because I wrote them all: belief, consistency, persistency, following up, stay organized, patience, sharing the opportunity, and then you talked about converting challengers to coaches. This was one of those epic calls, simple yet powerful, because she just reiterated, those things, right? The constant themes that we hear in the business, that some people will take them and say, okay, this is it. Shannon has found success in her business. This is what she says to do. I'm just going to do what she says. They do it, and then they find success. And then there's some that'll just say, no, there has to be another way. It's not just consistency. It's not just persistency. It's not just this. It's not just that. I'm going to do it my way, and then they struggle. It really are, there are a bunch of common themes in this business that we hear over and over again. It's the delivery that is different. It's when you are ready to receive the information that makes the difference. Hopefully tonight, Shannon made that difference in your business. I call her the queen of quotables. I literally quoted her the other day on a post because it was so powerful. She said it on this call. She said, Beachbody, because of Beachbody, her family is not two parents and a child. They now have a family. And I thought that was incredibly powerful. That's what a testimony of this business. And I can't agree more, because it really did it for my family too. My family was two parents and two kids just trying to get by. Trying to get through the 9 to 5s, trying to get through the hustle, trying to cook dinners, trying to enjoy at least some time together at night before the kids had to go to bed. And this business gave us a family. And it's not just because of the amazing financial benefits that this business can afford. It's so much more than that. Because of personal development, and I truly attest so much of my family's success in beating the odds and having a special needs kid and staying together and thriving and helping him thrive is because of personal development. And that this business is what taught me that. And that's one of the highlights of Shannon's call. She talked about the power of personal development. And then when she started to embrace it is when her mindset shifted. There's the baby, there's Brooklyn. Her mindset shifted to one of success and not fear of failure and not comparison, but going after her why, going after her dreams and making them a reality. And look at her now, holding her Brooklyn. You guys, that is the star of the show. She has baby number 2 in the belly. And when you look at what was able to create these 2 miracles, in part, of course, not entirely, because it's the modern medicine and 2 parents that wanted this so bad, but the funds came from this opportunity. And that is such a powerful testimony to this business. And then she said something I want to end this call on, because I think that there is a problem. And it's a discussion that I'm having not only on the coach advisory board, but with the leaders of the network. You guys that are on the wall saw it today, with the 15-star diamond coaches as well, that a lot of coaches come on board disillusioned that this is a get-rich-quick scheme. And because you see, like, even for instance, like some of the coaches on our team, you see the success now, right? What they've done over time, and you're like, well, I'm going to snap my fingers, sell a couple challenge packs, and I'm going to have a yacht in the south of France. And it's not that easy. And we need to change our mindset to this business. This is what Shannon said. It's an amazing opportunity you have over time. An amazing opportunity you have over time. It took us time to get here. It will take you time to get where your why is accomplished, and you need to figure out what your next why is. You cannot snap your fingers. There's work. She talked about all the things that we need to do to achieve our goals, to get to our why. You have to believe, you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, you have to follow up, you have to stay organized, be patient, love on your team wherever they are. You have to share the opportunity. These are all the things that over time, through the compound effect and the slight edge principles, will get you to your ultimate goal. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to be not so sexy sometimes. And there's going to be times in the business that are real sexy, when you're in the trips and when you're at Summit and you're in the lights and the pictures and the team and the fun and all that stuff. But when you're home and you're in the trenches, it can be a little bit lonely. It could be tough. You could play mental battles in your head. Do I give up? Do I not? And play that game constantly. Or you can just say, you know what? I'm just going to get to work. I'm just going to bless people. I'm just going to add value. Shannon said something that, I haven't even put that into perspective about what Amy Silverman said, that club membership is just $2.99 a week. Like, are we sharing that with coaches or customers that give us objections, that throw up money objections? Well, okay, so you can't afford a challenge pack. Well, how about we start with club membership and you work your way up? And if you can't afford $2.99 a week or are willing to invest in that, then perhaps it's not the right time with you, but can I follow up with you in 3 months or 2 months? And all we're doing is this cycle of adding value to people's lives through our social media posts, through our communications with them, through the relationships that we build. Okay? And this can be a lot. Your head might be spinning right now, but here's the deal. Keep it simple. Like Monica and I talked about a few weeks ago. Keep it simple. Attract through social media and invites. Share value and then add them to something, whether it's a free group or a challenge group or the coaching, whatever. But attract, add value, repeat. Attract, add value, repeat. Constantly, you will see that over time, not immediately, some will have immediate success, but over time, you will start gaining traction. Your communication skills will start to improve. You're going to fumble, and then you're going to say, well, I'm not going to do that again. And you're going to fix it, and you're going to change. And as you evolve with your personal development, your confidence will improve. And your persistence will get better, and your consistency will improve. And then guess what? You start working on your fitness harder, and you start sharing more confidently. So it's all this like circle of awesomeness that we have to embrace, but you have to get in the hamster wheel, right? You can't just watch it. You got to jump in, and you got to start working the business, and you got to start helping and talking to people. All right. So it's 10 o'clock. We are way past our bedtime. Shannon, it's like 4 o'clock where you're at. Over here, it's like 10 o'clock. But we love you. Congratulations on the beginning of a stellar year. I have a feeling that you are nowhere near being done yet for the year. We're going to see a bunch of stuff happening, and shared lots of value tonight. I appreciate everybody that stayed on. It was a great call. Everyone have a great night, and we shall see you later.